this is George from Abracadalo. In this video, I will show you how to create an API request in Adalo using our APIs, the Abracadalo APIs. You can also find all the details in our API Handbook in the Creating an API Request article. In order to find this article, you have to go to API Handbook, and you can find this article in the guide section here, Creating an API Request. For this tutorial, we will need an Abracadalo account, the Abracadalo API Handbook, and of course, an Adalo account. The first thing to do is to select which API we want to set up from the API Handbook. For this video, I will choose the trim API that removes white spaces from end of a string. You can find the trim API in the string section here. As a reminder, the trim API is part of our free APIs that we offer for anyone, and those APIs are free forever of use. Let's start. The first thing to do is to go to the Adalo account, to my Adalo account. Then I will select a component, a button component, or whatever component have the action feature in order to be able to set up the custom action. So I will customize a little bit the UI of the component, of the button component. I will write trim API, and I will remove the icon. Now I will create the API request. In order to create the API request, I will need to set up a custom action. To have access to custom actions, you need a Pro Adalo account. So I will go to custom action, new custom action, and the process of the creation will start. The first thing is to give a distinctive name in order to find easily the custom action from the list. I will name my custom action trim API. In the type, I will select create. In the majority of our APIs, we will use the create type. Then next. Here, for the API-based URL, I will need to go back to the API Handbook of Abracadalo in order to find the API-based URL of the API that I have selected to set up, and by just pressing on that button, copy it and then paste it. Great. Next method. I will select post. This method will be used for the majority of our APIs. Next step, headers and carries. In this part, I will set up the authentication of the API request and the parameter. The authentication is a very simple process, and it will be the same for all your API request setup with Abracadalo. First thing is to click Add Item, select Header, and write API key. So be careful to write it exactly like this. The line between API and key must be a minus symbol and not an underscore. Then for the value of the API key, I will need to go to my Abracadalo account, go to API keys, and here I will generate a new API key. If you have already generated an API key, you can simply copy the generated key. Copy it and paste it. Super duper. Then the parameter. For the parameter, I have to go back to the API handbook and see what are the parameters of the selected API. So for the trim, we have two parameters. We have string and we have site. It is important to notice that the two parameters are not required, which means that if the value of the string parameter is empty, the API request will return an error. But if the site is empty, it will take as a value the default value. It is both. So with this parameter, the site parameter, you can choose which end of the from which end the string that you have entered will be trimmed. So if you choose left, on the left side of the string will be trimmed, and the same thing for the right. So let's implement that. In order to do that, I will go back to my Adalo editor, click on Add an Item, Carry Parameter, and here I will set up the two parameters. The first one is a string. It is very important to give exactly the same name as in the API handbook. For the value, I will leave it blank for now. Done. Then side, here, carry parameter and site. And I will leave it blank. Also, something important to say is that as this parameter is not required, you are not obliged to create this parameter in the API request. That means that every time that you will request this API, then the value of the site will be both. Now I will have to create the inputs in order to be able to change the values of the two parameters from my application. Let's create an input for the string parameter. In order to do that, I will go to the input section. I will click on Add an Item, Text, and here you can give whatever name that you want. It is good to have distinguished names for the inputs. For example, value to trim. I will put an example value, white space, 2 white spaces. I love Abracadalo, and white space. Done. And now I will link this input with the carry parameter. So I will go to the value, click on the magic text button, and select value to trim input. So now the next parameter, the side one. So I will click on Add an Item, Text, and then here for the name, I will write from which site, and I will leave it to blank to see what will happen. Done. Then I will link the from which site input with the carry parameter site. In order to do that, I will click on the magic text button and select the correct input. So now we have set up the API. Let's test it. Bingo, it worked. So now you can see the output. If the output does not appear, you can add it by clicking on Add Item. So this is the result. In the show full response, you can see exactly what is the result, and as we can see, the API has removed the white spaces from the two sides. Also, you can change the name of the output in order to better use it in your Adalo app. Save. Done. As you can see, this custom action has been added to the action section of your component, the button component. If you want to add this custom action to another button or another component, you just need to click on Add Another Action, go to Custom Action, and then select the custom action that you want. So here, Trim. And this custom action will be added. So now we will delete it. Great! What I want to do now is to use the API that I have created in my application. In order to do that, I will create two text fields, one for the string and one for the side parameter, and then link them to the custom action that I have created. In order to link the two text fields with the parameter, I will go here, select Magic Text, Other Component, and I will choose the correct text field. It is important to give distinctive names to the text field in order to be able to select easily the correct one. So for the value to trim, which is the string parameter, I will select string. Now for the side parameter, I will select side. As you can see, we have also a third text field because we want to display the result of the custom action. Let's set it up now. We have the custom action, and now we can do two different things. One thing is to create or update a collection with the value of the custom action, like this. For example, update logged in user, select the property that you want to update, click on the magic button, go to the API that I have set up, and select output. This is the result. But in this example, I just want to display the result in the output box. So what I will do is create a change input action. The input is the output box, and the value is the result of the trim action. We have set up the custom action and also the change input value in order to display the output, the result of the API request, to the output text field. Let's test it. Great, so we will write in the string the text box, double white spaces, I love Abracadalo, then two spaces, and I will test without any specification in the side parameter. Trim. Everything has been removed. So now let's remove only the left side. Oof, you can see only the left side have been deleted, the left white spaces. And right, same, only the right white spaces. That's it. This is how you can create an API request with Abracadalo APIs. If you have any question, do not hesitate to leave a comment, or you can also contact us via email. You can contact us directly from our landing page, abracadalo.com. You have to go to the footer of the landing page, to the support section, and depending on your request, you can select Contact Us, Bug, Feedback, or Request a Feature. If you want to create a free account, you can do it directly from our landing page by going on the Start for Free. Thank you for watching. See you soon.